Look at all the colors you can make by mixing together just a few colors of paint. In the photo seen here, the rainbow of colors on the brush formed from just 4 paint colors: green, yellow, red, and blue. The same thing is true of matter in general. By combining just a few different elements, you can form many different chemical compounds. What are compounds? A compound is a unique substance that forms when 2 or more elements combine chemically. Compounds form as a result of chemical reactions. The elements in the compounds are held together by chemical bonds. A chemical bond is a force of attraction between atoms or ions that share or transfer valence electrons. For a video introduction to compounds, watch the video 1 below this video. Water is an example of a common chemical compound. As you can see in the figure, each water molecule consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Water always has this 2-to-1 ratio of hydrogen to oxygen. Like water, all compounds consist of fixed ratio of elements. It doesn't matter how much or how little of a compound there is, it always has the same composition. All water molecules have 2 hydrogen atoms, shown as gray, and 1 oxygen atom, shown as blue. Question: sometimes the same elements combine in different ratios. How can this happen if a compound always consists of the same elements in the same ratio? Answer: if the same elements combine in different ratios, they form different compounds. Same elements, different compounds. Look at the figure of water, H2O, and hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, and think about these 2 compounds. Both compounds consist of hydrogen and oxygen, but they have different ratios of the 2 elements. As a result, water and hydrogen peroxide are different compounds with different properties. If you've ever used hydrogen peroxide to disinfect a cut, then you know it's very different from water. Water. Water is odorless and colorless. We drink it, we bathe in it, we use it to wash our clothes. In fact, we cannot live without it. Hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is also odorless and colorless. It's used as an antiseptic to kill germs on cuts. It's also used as bleach to remove color from hair. Question: read the figure about carbon dioxide, or CO2, and carbon monoxide, CO. Both compounds consist of carbon and oxygen, but in different ratios. How can you tell that carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide are different compounds? The answer? You can tell they are different compounds from their very different properties. Carbon dioxide is a harmless gas that living things add to the atmosphere during respiration. Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas that can quickly kill people if it becomes too concentrated in the air. Carbon dioxide. Every time you exhale, you release carbon dioxide into the air. It's an odorless, colorless gas. Carbon dioxide contributes to the global climate change, but it isn't directly harmful to human health. Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is produced when matter burns. It's colorless, odorless, and it's a gas. It's very harmful to human health. In fact, it can kill people in minutes. Because you can't see or smell carbon monoxide, it must be detected with an alarm. Types of compounds. There are two basic types of compounds that differ in the nature of the bonds that hold their atoms or ions together. They are covalent and ionic compounds. Both types are described here. You can learn more about the properties of covalent and ionic compounds by watching video 2 below this video. Covalent compounds consist of atoms that are held together by covalent bonds. These bonds form between nonmetals that share valence electrons. Covalent compounds exist as individual molecules. Water is an example of a covalent bond. Ionic compounds consist of ions that are held together by ionic bonds. These bonds form when metals transfer electrons to nonmetals. Ionic compounds exist as a matrix of many ions called a crystal. Sodium chloride, or table salt, is an example of an ionic compound. Okay, so let's summarize. A compound is a unique substance that forms when two or more elements combine chemically. A compound always consists of the same elements in the same ratio. If the same elements combine in different ratios, then they form different compounds. Types of compounds include covalent and ionic compounds. They differ in nature of the bonds that hold their atoms or ions together.